Hey, Dustin, Dennis, thanks for filling out that little questionnaire. So I'm going to go through some things, some quickly, some not so quickly. Just kind of, this is more for overview purpose. So estimating, one of the reasons that a lot of clients, and just for the record, we got 1,500 clients that use Sage 100. They're probably split down the middle, half GC slash home builder slash remodeler in one category, and then all the specialty subs in another category. But they're pretty split. It could be 55-45 or whatever, but I'll just say 50-50. So the way our estimating works, and I assume being a GC, you sub out quite a bit of your work. So the way our clients will set something up is like this. They'll take keep track of the three lowest prices. They kind of had a budget going into this job, so if they don't get a price or they don't like the prices they get, they could go with their budget number for this job. In this case, I just happened to pick the low subcontractor for the concrete sign, who happened to be Sandow specialist, and you'll see that when I open it up. And then we have some notes in there as well. The reason for doing it here is one of the boxes you checked is it'll take this budget. So it's going to take this item, my concrete sign sub, my cost is $1,350, and it's going to budget that to cost code $3,900. In this case, it's going to take the demolition sub and budget $2,000, and cost code $2,050, this $1,500. So it's going to export over the budget by cost code for the job. It's going to allow you to print a proposal. It's going to allow you to print all the purchase orders that you want. It's going to allow you to print the subcontracts directly from here. So your committed cost is automatically created from the efforts that you did in the estimating. So that integration is pretty tight. It really is tight. So there's no more rekeying of subcontracts or purchase orders after you're awarded the job. So that to me is that real full integration, not only to accounting, but also some of the operations side as well. A couple other check boxes I'm not going to do, but we do have a bonding report. You'll see in Sage, we have 1,400 reports. So there's a bonding report. There's an overbilling, underbilling report. Did a whole bunch of budgets versus actual. I will spend a little time on this report right here. This is what we call our job status report, and I want to make sure I get the right one here. So I'll give it 1 second. So job status report. A lot of numbers here. So real quick, original contract was for $82,000 or $81,000. There's change orders that have been approved, so I now have a new contract value. This is the list of items that I have to do, cost codes, whether they be material cost, labor cost, subcontract cost, and a bunch of columns here. Original budget now with the change orders from above here included, what I spend for the month, so I can double click that if I wanted to and see how I spent that $240. Total cost to date. Excuse me. So what this does is kind of a real quick and dirty projection. So it looks at the current budget and it looks at total cost. And in this case, this column is obviously higher, so it moves over to $1,850. On this line item here, there's a $500 budget. We spent $2,200, so it moves over to $2,200. It doesn't mean that's the only cost we're going to have. It could go higher, but and a quick snapshot based on the overruns to date and spending my remaining budget, this job is forecast to lose $16,000. Okay, that's what my clients look at. They look at this bottom number. If something is really off there, then they'll scroll up here and look for these overruns, and then they can literally double click this to see how I spent the $2,200. And I'm not going to do it here, but I can double click it again and get back to the actual accounts payable invoice. So that is just one of, like I said, 139 different job cost reports. So that's one. But most of the time, our clients actually, I said this really sounds stupid, they actually don't use reports anymore. We have this thing called Alerts Manager. And so in here, you'll see the little check mark box. It says job costs exceed the budget for cost code. So anytime one of my line items on a project is over the budget at that night of the day it happened, so if it happens on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, late night, early Wednesday morning, we run these alerts, and it sends out an email and says, hey, on this job, on this item, you're now over budget. It also will look for change orders that are over 30 days old and have not been approved. It's going to look for RFIs that were required for tomorrow and have not been returned yet. It's going to look at past due invoices. It's going to look at whatever you want to look at. There's vendors' insurance certificates that are expiring. items on the punch list that are not been completed yet. You get the idea. You can write these yourself, but I now get alerts to my email box rather than having to kind of go through page after page of report looking for overruns. And so hopefully you've seen that will kind of be a big impact on not having to run reports, having to just look at your emails in the morning. Full payroll, 941s, W-2s, as many payroll calculations as you can imagine, 401ks, wage garnishments. It'll handle all of that. I don't know if you get involved with the prevailing wage projects, but we will handle that as well. Let me just go down the list here. So payroll, accounts receivable. Just hitting big menu options real quick here. Whoops. Accounts receivable. So invoicing, 702, 703 AIA format, if we need to do in progress billings, and a full-blown time and materials billing module as well. So a bunch of different ways to bill. Accounts payable, pretty much plain Jane stuff, but it does track insurance certificates for your subs. We'll deny payment to them if their insurance has expired. Those are just kind of bullet points here that make sense for subcontractors. Project management, like I said, tons of job cost reports, full change order management, full purchase order management, subcontracts, a couple of cost to complete analysis if you do want to do forecasting, and then a full document control, which is the RFPs, RFIs, transmittals, submittals, payment plan records if you want to check your plans in here, daily field reports, which a lot of our clients use, and punch list. And so let's just look at daily field reports real quick. It's just part of the process. So as the name incurs there, it is a daily. There's today. This is a job I was working on. I'm happen to be leasing today. That's the person reporting it. These are the employees that worked. These are the cost codes or items they worked on. Is it regular time, overtime, premium pay? And most likely you will not use that column. That's more prevailing wage, subs, and then the hours they actually worked that day. All of this information obviously is what you need to produce payroll. It would get sent right over to payroll without having to be entered again. Here's the subs that were on that job, how many people they had, what were they doing. Down at the very bottom is a thing that says meetings. These are the meetings I had today. I had a phone call from Bill. I met with the inspector. I had a safety meeting. We had a job site walkthrough, whatever, and all that can be documented by day for that job. Don't want to get into too much detail, but there is a paperclip on the top right up here. If you had some pictures you want to attach for today's report, you could do that. An email that got dragged in, you could sent to you could drag that in as well. And so all that stuff gets attached to that day and is there for as long as you need it. And so if you look at the screen, this is kind of where the bread and butter of the system is. Change orders, subcontracts, jobs, purchase orders, RFIs, transmittals and submittals, hours to complete report, cost to complete, job status, over and under billing, committed cost, and subcontract audit. And this is a report. I love this report only because I used to have to do this by hand at a company I was a controller for. And so this question comes up a lot, or came up a lot for me when I was a controller. Who is the sub? Samson. What job are they on? 27. So this is one report for one job and one sub. There's their contract, $2,900. That was on day one. They have signed, and we have signed, 2 additional change orders. That brings the contract up to this, $5,250. If he had pending change orders, they would be listed there as pending, open. And then on the next page, what he's invoiced me for, and a kind of summary of where the job is, or the subcontract is to date. And so to me, that typically in an organization, you got to go 3 or 4 or 5 places to get that information. We kind of just throw it all onto one report. Next thing I want to look at, as far as integration and what have you, if I look at this job, happens to be the Reichert residence, just a little small GC job. If I look at the bottom, I have the ability to look at the bid items. I look at the budget. I can look at every purchase order, every subcontract, every change order, every invoice, and every payment. And so if I click this, there's all of the change orders. If I want to see a specific change order, I double click that, and it'll take me right back to the actual change order. And so, again, one place, pretty much everything you need to know from the operations side what's going on with this project is right here. So that's just a couple of things. I mean, again, it's just meant to see if it fits your business. The other thing that you asked about was training. So a couple of things. Let me just scroll this up a little bit. So these classes are what we call anytime learning. So we call them ATL, anytime learning. Are pre-recorded classes that were recorded from a previously live class. These are all part of our subscription that comes with the software to be on your proposal. So if I want to learn how to enter invoice new vendors, I want to enter an AP invoice, I want to learn how to enter job cost and payable invoices, how to enter credits, how to select all these are covered in pre-recorded classes that you can watch over and over again. And so how to set up an employee, how to set up payroll calculation, all that stuff can be learned there. And so we encourage that. That's number one. Let me just minimize this real quick. And then the other thing that we have is a set of workbooks called Learning Made Easy. So this is, this is an old version, the copy that I have. It's now Sage 100, was Master Builder. And so, let's scroll down here real quick. And so again, all those things you learned in a class are now here in print in an exercise book. And I don't know if I can actually, I do, hang on a second. So let me get down a little bit. Just don't pay attention yet. So all your command keys. So all this stuff is covered in a workbook that you have a copy of, like how to create the general ledger. Very simple. Double click on number 1. Click on number 8, general ledger. So it's step by step on how to do it with screenshots. And so another way to learn the software at your own pace, at your own time. And then on top of that, you have unlimited support with Sage on the 800 number for technical support. And then we also will assign a consultant to you. I got 20 some odd of them, 26, 27. I lose track sometimes. Certified consultants. It'll be, who's available, who's closest to your area, and who matches up best with what you want to accomplish with the software. But we do provide on-site and online consulting with a live consultant to make it work exactly the way you would like it to work. Because a lot of this is customizable and you can tweak it. This happens, as an example, this happens to be my desktop. One of the things that we're going to help you set up is, set up yours. Maybe you don't do committed costs and you don't do transmit. So each desktop can actually be created for each employee so it fits their daily requirements. Like payroll, if I'm the payroll person, that's what mine looks like. Okay. If I'm the person that's responsible for estimating and scheduling, then this is what my desktop looks like. So we have the ability to do lots of things with this so they customize to the individuals. Again, simple. I think you've seen, hopefully, one of the things you said, ease of use. Most clients' screen looks like that. They don't have the menu on the left like I have. They basically just have the icons, and those are their daily, weekly, or monthly tasks that they do. So everything is here. Oh, I got to do a purchase order. Double click it. Enter the materials that you need to order in there. Send it out. Email it out. And so we'll teach you how to do those things. But that's pretty simple. I mean, it's all icon driven. On the accounting side, it's very similar to QuickBooks. We, debits and credits. Only this thing is we are only looking for construction clients, GCs, specialty subs, or service contractors. Where QuickBooks is looking for anybody, any business imaginable can use QuickBooks. Ours is really specific to the construction industry. So if this is what you're looking for and makes sense for your company, why don't we just set up another demo online with you and maybe as part of your staff? We can really dive deep into the things that you want it to do. Anyway, Dustin, thanks for your time. Give me a call, please, if you have any questions or I didn't show you something you wanted to see. Just let me know. Thanks.